Thursday.
It is 5 o'clock. I'm calling the meeting of the Carver COA Board of Directors for today, February 27th at 5 p.m. on the nose, according to AT&T time. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take off my glasses so I can see. All right, this meeting is being recorded by Area 58 Community Access Media, Channel 15, and will be posted by Area 58 on YouTube as soon as possible. They're very good at that, and we really appreciate them doing this. All right, public comments. Do we have anybody from the vast throngs that are in our audience that wish to address the board? All right, seeing none, moving on. First topic is a continuation of what we started the last meeting, is our COA Board of Director 2025 goals. 2020, yeah, we're 2025. Time marches on. We did discuss initially, the only thing we came up with right off the bat was a T again, which is always highly successful.
But then Mary said that this year she couldn't do it.
Right.
So, and that is a major expense, so maybe we could do that every other year. And then we also talked about pasta dinner,
Yep.
you know, from Old Colony, but I was talking to one of the girls in the program, and she said they're at the end of the school year and they got all these things going on, so that wouldn't be probably possible for.
Now, was that, was that the Carver school?
No, Old Colony.
Old Colony.
I don't know what Carver has. My thought is, the Friends do so much for the, the COA. I think in our bylaws and stuff, not that I've read them in a while, our job is more to be, community service and to, put it out there, like maybe do something at Waterview Village, Cranberry Village, just like a get-together. What's the other one? South Meadow, kind of thing to, get the word out there, so to speak, and to maybe have pictures and things like that. To, and of course, we've done the Carver Night Out, and that's, So those are my two suggestions, and I had talked with Connie about it too and everything, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an idea. We can see if they have any group functions that we can participate in, yeah.
I know the Nashes run the farmers market up here, and I don't know how to do it. They did offer to give us a table free of charge.
Through the chair, can I just comment? We did not get much response from those efforts. And to Elaine's point, going to where the seniors live to communicate and educate the seniors. Elaine was even telling me as we conversed that there's several seniors in there that ask her all sorts of questions about the COA when she just was visiting or whatever. And I said, it's the where they live is what needs. And in my report, I actually, Alice, who was thinking of coming here, who's now the activities coordinator, was hoping to actually work in conjunction with different members of the board attending these villages directly. She's already been in contact with some point people at the villages to talk about collaborative efforts, and she was trying to pull in the board, maybe like one board member, where like Elaine has an association with Waterview. Actually, Louise and Mike live in Cranberry Village, whether it makes sense to do something in a collaborative sense, but Alice was talking about trying to coordinate that.
Could you do us a favor then? Could you see if she could come to our March meeting?
Yes.
And then we can sit down, let her tell us what she's found, because I think that'd be good. That way we can coordinate through her for each of the
villages.
Villages,
Yeah.
thank you, I was trying to think of the term.
Yeah, that's fine, but also, he said he'd give us a free table if the friends wanted to have like a little fundraising
Well,
thing.
this was offered before,
Yeah,
and there wasn't much interest because people come to that to buy.
yeah, but he said that we could have like, because they're a farmer's market and we wouldn't be having it at the COA, we could have like a bake sale to make some money for
Well, the Friends could.
the friends.
Yeah, the Friends could do that, and it was offered to the Friends, and they didn't
You
want to
didn't
do
want to do it? Oh,
it. So it
okay.
was offered in the past
All right,
as a possible fundraising effort for them.
all right.
But please thank them for
I will.
offering the table. But when we did do that, it didn't generate any interest in the COA, and we got, like maybe 1 or 2 people sign up for the newsletter. It was not a senior-centric.
Yeah,
Not a big bang,
Yeah,
bang for
not
the
a-
free
You
buck.
know, and I think these events that we're talking about trying to coordinate should be to inform, educate, and be the outreach for the board itself.
okay.
So if we know where they live, and we do, we know where the seniors live.
You don't know where I live.
Yeah, I know. And there are seniors that are outside of the community, so having opportunities to do something outside of the villages, but we know the villages are dedicated senior residents. And quite a few of them mentioned that they don't know what we have going on, even though we have newsletters so in-person get-togethers, a meet and greet, coffee and donuts, something like that.
So if I might suggest, since there is a fairly decent cost for the tea, that we put that off to 2026, and we focus our attention, working with Alice to do outreach, this year's
Community
project to
outreach.
do
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
outreach
she
to
is.
the various.
Oh, she is here, yay.
Talking about you, did you hear
Oh, no,
that?
she's running away, she's running. I was just literally outlining what you had discussed, the collaboration. Okay.
So, since it's not on the, that particular, it's not on the agenda itself,
Sure.
what we'll do is we will put discussion with Alice on next month's agenda to go ahead and discuss outreach to the various parks and villages.
And then we'll have some new contact.
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm going to, if you don't mind, it's very unusual, but I'm going to make the motion
Hey, make it.
that for 2025, our focus will be outreach to the various villages and parks within the town, in coordination with the activities director at the COA. Do I hear a second?
I second that.
Did you get all that? I talked slow enough, you got that?
Outreach to various senior communities in the parks and villages, Alice will coordinate.
Good enough. For all, here, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. All right, next on the agenda is the ever elusive and highly in the ether world feasibility study update. The short answer is got nothing. Apparently, and from an email that Dave Seatonhoff wrote to Elaine, or to Connie, per her email she sent him about what the status is. Apparently, Dave and Glenn are going to talk about it tomorrow. But anytime I've been in town hall, Dave's off at a meeting or something, so I have not had a chance to talk to him. I haven't talked to Glenn in quite a while, but that may have to change soon. Also, I guess apparently there was some meeting in town yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, that apparently it was discussed at this meeting that the COA would be moving to United Parish, and then condos or something would be put on the COA site. And I'm going to tell you right here, and it's just so people know, I don't know what this meeting was. I can't find anything agenda-wise on any committee that met yesterday. The only committee I saw even a mention of the COA was the capital outlay, and it was for a discussion of the COA paving. Us going to the COA going to United Parish and condos being built, there's no way in God's green earth, if I was the chairman, that would ever be allowed for discussion. So I don't know where that came from.
I can give you a little bit. I'm a member of the United Parish, and the church is going to be closing at the end of June of 2026. Financially, it's no longer feasible, not enough parishioners and everything. So I guess, I'm not on that committee, thank goodness, but they've offered it to the town for a community center, COA or youth center. The cranberry growers were looking into it, other churches, Church of the Vine, but that was when they were going to charge it money. Now, I don't know what the status is, if they're just going to give it away.
Well, the point is, nothing should be talked about by any town board, committee, or
Well, they've done it.
without, as far as the COA being
Right.
part of that whole thing, there should be any discussion unless at the very least, the director of the COA and whoever the chairperson is of the COA board of directors. You don't go trying to sneak that by without involving the two
It's true.
overseers of the Council of Aging. That to me is just wrong, and
It is wrong. I think Connie was approached about it.
No,
Indirectly.
Not officially, no, I was just told like exactly what you were telling me. But it's never been asked of me to, and
make it
when discussed, I said, we're not interested.
Yeah.
so we're going to have to wait and see what, if anything, happens from tomorrow's meeting with Dave and Glenn. If the COA director could do me a favor and shoot an email to both of them on Monday saying, so how did your meeting go? Did you have a nice time? What was discussed? Where's the hell's the damn feasibility study?
Can you please explain what the feasibility study is about?
Okay, at town meeting last year, which was April, May, June, July, August, September, a article was voted, I believe 10,000 or something like that. It was more than that? Anyway, to have a feasibility study done for the needs of the EMS and the COA. And what buildings in town were available, what locations would be possible, and to look into all those sort of things. And the town voted that, so the monies became available on the FY25 town budget, which began in June 1st. And here we are, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February.
Almost March.
8 months, and we have not heard squeak one. The last I heard, and this was back in the November timeframe, I think, they were looking to hire an architect to help looking at everything. And my thought was, in fact, I asked Glenn and said, why are we worried about an architect before we even conduct the feasibility study? And he said, oh no, you got to have the architect. So I said, fine. And like I said, and again, it's been crickets ever since. So since there's supposedly this meeting on Friday,
Like tomorrow?
like tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow, Friday, like the day before Saturday, but after today. No, and I fully agree and understand. So we'll see what happens. I have a funny feeling getting information is going to be even harder since we are in the midst of budget season and preparing for town meeting. I keep forgetting because the select board agendas and meeting announcements don't show up on the individual's Facebook page because that person can't download, for some reason, can't download the agenda. And it's real easy because I get notifications when there's an update on that page. I keep, because I'm old, to check the town meeting log. So, but I am going to try to figure out, I think next week, Tuesday, I think there's a next select board meeting. Anyways, so I'm,
Okay.
either the next meeting or the meeting after that, I'm going to pop my little head in for citizen participation and pretend I'm a citizen participating. So, all that was kind of a long-winded way of saying the update for the feasibility study is stay tuned for hopefully some further information because I haven't got anything right now.
Okay.
Any questions? Can I answer anybody's questions about it?
No?
You don't have any answers? No?
On that, I'm going to have a mint and invite the director of the COA up for the director's report.
I don't get how an architect can help you if you're not building a building.
They have ideas and plus it's to look at the existing buildings.
To see if
Through
they
the
can
chair.
adapt.
So that way, the architect can look at the buildings, see how much, to do a feasibility on how much it would cost to rehab such a building or something like
They
that.
bill us by hours for what they do.
More than likely.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, through the chair, the architect, that's exactly what it would be, is actually looking at the viability of the current buildings for adding on to or somehow, making those buildings work for the needs of the both departments.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why it's EMS and COA, I actually requested, this is back with Town Administrator Bob Fennessy, requested that a feasibility study be put on the town meeting for last year to look at the COA because of the needs we have, but also identifying the fact that EMS is in the same situation. Every other department, when you look around the community, has either an updated building or a brand-new building. And we're two departments, at least, that are dealing with buildings that we have outgrown.
And they're old.
And they're old, and and the town has to consider the fact of maintaining these buildings and trying to make them work. And again, the feasibility study, I had even asked about saving money. I said, can we already, everyone agree that neither building is worth doing anything with? So, and then just move forward to what can be done. But I was told, as part of the feasibility study, that the buildings are looked at initially first anyway, so you rule them out as part of the study, so that actually they do have to be looked at. And then as a result is to say, with the needs that are identified for both departments, are there buildings already existing in town that are available to fit those needs, and/or do you start with, a fresh build and design it to your exact needs that you want? And that's where we have desires, we have, ideas and suggestions of all, within all those possibilities. But I think the feasibility study is the first step that you have to take, even with a fresh build. You have to rule out what you have. You have to identify where something could be built and what's involved with that. So we can't move forward on anything else until that feasibility study is done.
You got to take that first step.
Right, that makes sense.
And feeling that perhaps if EMS wants to be in a new location, does that perhaps, and this is part of the question, does that open up their location for consideration for us? I don't know, is it big enough? Would we be able to build something on that site? Do we want their building my answer to that would be no. But the way it is. And I don't think it would be, make any sense. We're already retrofitting an old building that doesn't work. So I think, the goal would be, it's great, we have, buildings that are brand new that have been designed for the purposes and needs of those departments. And it would be nice to have that for these other departments that, including the COA, that have needs that are unique and specific to seniors.
So we'll just have to wait and see, but we have to get to the first step, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes.
Okay.
So I provided the director's report that consists of the February statistics through my senior center. The first one is GATRA trips. That's directly from the dispatcher. The trips for the month of February were 634. The nutrition congregate meals were 205, and meals on the move 850, for a total of 1,055 meals that were served in the month of February. My senior center statistics have registrations to date at 526, quite a few just in this past month. The active, of that 526, the active registered seniors, there were 117 unduplicated seniors that attended the COA in February for a variety of the programs and services. And the average daily attendance averaged out to be 44. And that's with the understanding that it's not saying that every single day of that month there were 44 people in the building. What it is saying that on the highs and lows, they average out to be 44. And that means, and it refers to the fact that throughout the day, we have activities that go on. As an example, I'll pick a Tuesday that has a variety of activities. We have the chair volleyball, beach ball volleyball in the morning that transitions into Qigong, that potentially transitions into coffee with the chief, which transitions into lunch. And then there's programming in the afternoon, there's Scrabble, and potentially, in fact, this month we had several programs that fell on a Tuesday. Nancy Frank's, one of her presentations, as well as the Comfort Dogs. All of that number would maybe transition into or total 44, but people were in and out of that building all day. There's some people that maybe and do only come for Qigong, and they would check in the morning and they would be gone. So it's an understanding that it's the flow of attendance throughout the day. There's only one day a week, I would say, that is unique to the fact that, and it is our Thursdays, which is bingo, that people pretty much come for the day. They'll come early there are people in the parking lot waiting outside before we even open. And they're pretty much, on paper, bingo is actually 12:30 to 2:30. But we have people that are waiting at like 8:30 to get in the door, and that's an all-day event. I do not really schedule anything. I try not to schedule other things on the Thursdays for that reason. But so for the understanding, that number of people, they're probably there for the duration. A normal day for every other day of the week is an ebb and a flow of attendance. There are some people that do stay from, the first that we open till when we close. But I said the number as far as like average daily attendance reflects that ebb and flow of a total number of people that came in that day. Just trying to make it clear, because there's a lot of questions about this and confusion. I made mention that the state, it used to be called the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, which is now called the Executive Office of Aging and Independence. And they request every year the statistics from my senior center, specifically this software program, and they use that information for their annual report. I asked just to validate the statistics that we gather from my senior center that we use, and we've invested quite a bit of money in this system, from Chris Hamilton, who is the local founder and developer of my senior center, which is actually internationally used software program. And when I asked him about what's the validity or accuracy of your system. Can you validate this? So this is a quote of his response to that. He said, even if someone scans in 50 times in one day with their key card, we still know, as in my senior center, that it's only one person. That multiple scans goes no further than identifying one person checking in. And he was saying that he looked at what we had going on that particular day, and he said, in fact, I can see that 5 people scanned in more than 4 hours after their first scan of the day. And that's what he noticed for the month of February. And he said, and that still shows just 5 individuals. Those individuals, they checked in later in the day because they checked in for other programs. They decided to stay for lunch, or they decided to actually attend an afternoon program. And that's something you can do. You could hit on lunch multiple times, but it's only going to register you that you came for. In fact, when you hit on it twice, you unselect it. So if you hit it multiple times, it only sees you selecting lunch once. So, and then I also printed beside this paragraph a vision of what the people see when they check in on the screen. They'll have the icons for the different programs, and that's what they touch. And you can pick multiple programs. So in this particular image, it was today's. There's bingo, there's lunch, there's general attendance, and that is for anyone that's attending the COA, but it also allows me to include people that come maybe for a cup of coffee to read their paper or just socialize. There's a lot of people, and I wouldn't say it's a huge amount, but there's a handful of people that come and maybe don't participate in some of the activities but like the socialization. Or maybe they bring their own lunch, so they might come for lunch, but they're bringing their own lunch. And there's volunteers that check in as well, and it allows for me to identify what they participate in. It doesn't matter that somebody could click on all 4 of those activities or what availabilities or services, and it's still one person. It's only one person. It doesn't register them in as a different person.
So it's basically with the system almost impossible to go ahead and try to pad statistics to make things look better.
That's basically, and so he says, as far as accuracy, computers don't lie and have no motivation to be fraudulent. It's based on the scans read by the scanner and the buttons pushed on the screen. Over 2.5 million seniors interacted with our screens last year across 2,100 centers in the country. Municipal, state, and federal governments rely on those numbers. So they use my senior center statistics. If it was a type of system that could be manipulated to be fraudulent, I highly doubt that they would be using this system and that they would be in business. And our processes and database techniques have been vetted by every state in the U.S. and the Canadian Ministry of Seniors and Accessibility. So just trying to, I don't know how, some people might be confused, but these are the statistics that come through the reports that validate, and I did attach this month's printout. And just to see the variation, it's attached on the back. There were a total number of 797 check-ins. And with that 18 weekdays that we were open of the month. So it's a very short month specifically. And the reason, how they get the average daily attendance, out of all those check-ins, the average number of people per day was 44. You can see the breakout of weekday, and you see the flow. And because I mentioned we had some pretty well-attended programs on Tuesdays, that number is a real spike on that day because it's not normally that high. That came in at an average daily attendance on Tuesdays in the month of February was 61. That's higher than bingo. And then oddly enough, on bingo, you look at Thursday, that's usually our high number. There's a reason for that too, but it's accurately measuring it because it reflects the fact that we had to cancel bingo on a Thursday that we had bad weather. And we also had bad weather the following Thursday, which actually kept the attendance low. So in general, our bingo attendance for the month of February was low, and this report reflects that. So it's not the numbers that we've been seeing elsewhere, but it's reflecting the actual activity. And I was going to say Wednesdays has been higher, and I said, but I would note that we had more programming on the Tuesdays this month, just the way it worked out on that. So you can see there's an ebb and flow even month to month. But when we do the annual statistics, there is a difference that you'll see an overall total on these different days of the week. But there's just an explanation. Hopefully that's some clarity on that. I just wanted to take a little time to explain it because it actually came up as an issue today, in fact, to have to address. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
I'm sorry, it came up with what?
Today?
It came up as a question as to why there's bingo and general attendance. If you're there for bingo and not lunch, why would I also do general attendance? And that just covers your attendance for being at the COA. It doesn't add you as doing something or as another person. It just, when I need to see what general attendance there was, that's what I look under. If I want to see who came just for bingo, I select under bingo as an
Okay. Yep.
identifier. So for the February recap, I did mention that we had great attendance at some of the programs. Remembering the blizzard of '78, everyone just wanted to relive that for some reason. And we had a full house, standing room only, 26 seniors squeezed into that back room of the nutrition center. Really well attended, a lot of great information and a lot of information and research that was beyond what I even remember, so it was very interesting. We also I want to thank the students, the cosmetology students from Old Colony Regional Vocational Technical High School that came in and offered free manicures for a total of 14 seniors, which is a great social opportunity, and I think it was a really nice service that they provided. AARP started their tax aid program. We're already full in taking wait list names. It's still a possibility to get into the process. Sometimes people cancel their appointments later as it gets closer to tax time, so hopefully we can fit everyone on the wait list to be serviced with this great volunteer service that's provided through AARP. We had the Plymouth County Comfort Dogs that attended with District Attorney Tim Cruz. He explained the program in detail, and we had seven comfort dogs, their officer handlers, plus their trainers, who all interacted with over 20 seniors that were in attendance that day. Very interesting program. I think we're hopeful to maybe get our own comfort dog for the town of Carver, which would be a nice, Chief Dufely was there. So I think along with a few officers, and was also taking part in just, appreciating the program and talking to the DA. We also had a fun Valentine Candy Left Center Right game. We had 2 tables of the games going on with like at least 6 people at each table, and it was a lot of fun. Our local Girl Scout troop, 70807, were very generous in providing Girl Scout cookies and handmade Valentine cards for delivery with our Meals on the Move for the homebound seniors receiving those, and that was great. And they've been a good supporter of the COA, providing these nice little goodies and handmade artwork by the girls, so much appreciated with that. We had our first visit with the Veterans Agent, which is the new agent, Celestine Cruz. She had the opportunity to meet a lot of the seniors and meet privately with anyone that has some questions or concerns, and sort of like having monthly office hours at the COA, which is scheduled for the third Wednesday, 10:30 to 11:30. So you can drop in, or if you need to make an appointment to meet specifically, you can do that as well. Yesterday we had game shows to go. We've had this program in the past. So much fun. Elaine was the trivia master. And she's not invited to come back because she's too smart. But but it was a lot of fun. It was everything from Family Feud to Wheel of Fortune, all different types of trivia and fun, pop culture reference, and all sorts of things. It was just a lot of
It was a lot of fun.
fun with everybody, and everyone can participate even, individually or as a team together. It was a lot, well attended for that as well. And we had about 15 people come for that program. And I just included some of the photos from the events that we had recently with the dogs, the manicures, and actually that's the Blizzard program down in the corner that, like I said, we just had, it was a very intimate setting that we had for that event. In the March preview, I've attached, it's not the actual newsletter, but it's kind of like a proof version of it, so you can see it is already available online. The mailed copies are going out today, and we'll have hard copies available in the COA and throughout the community starting next week. The key event for the month of March is our annual St. Patrick's Luncheon, which is Monday, March 17th. It's actually St. Patrick's Day. Lunch is served at 11:30. $10 tickets go on sale this Monday, March 3rd, in the Nutrition Center. There is a limit of 4 tickets, and you do have to purchase them in person. We have, at the end of next week, we have a Stress Busters program with registered dietitian Marsha Richards. She offers us nutrition and health programs about every other month, and that's this Friday, the 7th at 10 o'clock. I want to mention our foot care. We've always had the monthly foot care, which has usually scheduled on the 4th Wednesday of every month, and due to the need to add some additional time, the foot care doctor is offering a half day to be scheduled on the second Tuesday of each month to provide some additional services. So if anyone needs to do that, they can be scheduled. We're already filled, but we will take a wait list because we do get cancellations for that. We have our free movie matinee, Far and Away, which is set in Ireland, a little theme for the month, and that's on Friday, March 21st. We serve free popcorn and other snacks if you're interested. The Carver Cultural Council is sponsoring the first event of the season, which is an Alcohol Inks workshop with local artist Jessie Fries at her art shop studio in Plymouth. That is also, because this newsletter has been posted online, is also currently full, but we are taking a wait list for that as well. And that's scheduled for Monday, March 24th from 12 to 2 on site in Plymouth. We're having a Medicare plans overview presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, giving an explanation. I think Medicare plans are very confusing. There's all sorts of commercials on TV, and it's very helpful to have an opportunity. Blue Cross Blue Shield isn't presenting anything that their programs, so they're just explaining what the plans are, and I think that's an educational benefit for the seniors. The Knit and Crochet Club will be meeting on Monday, March 31st. They've already met twice, and let me just check with our activities coordinator. Was there a final name? Or was it?
Nimble Fingers.
Nimble Fingers?
Nimble Fingers.
Okay, they'll be called the Nimble Fingers. And that's what they agreed to. And that is it being the last Monday of every month from 10 to 11 o'clock. And on coming up as a preview on May 6th will be the first trip of the year, and it's a Bloom Bus trip to the Sandwich Glass Museum, lunch at the Daniel Webster Inn, and a visit also to the Greenbrier Nature Center and Gardens. And this trip is sponsored by the Friends. I neglected to mention that further up, because I think I jumped the line here, that the Friends are having their membership drive on Wednesday, March 12th from 12 to 2. And just an incentive to renew or enroll as a friend is with the Friends membership, you get a significant discount on any bus trips. So your membership will, as shown with the pricing for the Bloom bus trip, the Friends members will be able to purchase the trip for $95. Non-members would be at the face value of $119. So if you like doing the bus trips, your membership is paid for in the first trip that you take, and it's valid for any other future trips to get the discount as well. I wanted to point out Nancy Franks has a program this month at the beginning of the month, on the 10th, Monday, March 10th, is Luck Leprechauns and a Visit to the Emerald Isle. She always has a very informative and interesting presentation, and she always does a little raffle, a themed raffle at the end of each presentation. And I think I just wanted to make sure I didn't skip over that. And then a few updates include, we got an update that the interior painting of the hallway, the last portion of the first floor painting that we have going on, is scheduled to start next week, so that should finish up. It's just basically the landing leading down the hallway that still needs to be done. And, and this was what I was mentioning before. Alice, who's the activities coordinator, is scheduling to meet with senior village representatives for collaborative activities and event discussions, and wanting to work with the board on that process. And something that's under discussion as well, and we're meeting in a few weeks with the people involved as a possible grant program that would cover periodic dental care services at the COA. And that's something new that we haven't offered before, but it's being covered with a grant, and we're hoping to get some scheduled time for the seniors here at the COA itself. And it wouldn't be monthly, but it would maybe be maybe quarterly, something like that on the time, and we still have to figure out the details. Any questions on any of the programs?
Any questions or comments for our director? Very good report. I'm glad to see, excuse me, numbers are still up. And actually, the bingo numbers weren't that bad, considering the only time we had weather was on Thursdays in
Right.
February.
So it would be, that was like a total of three Thursdays, not 4. And weather was an issue on almost every one of them. So I think that was, there's a pretty good showing in general. And we also have a pretty good number of snowbirds that are, not only just in the COA in general, but in bingo. I guess they get big winnings and have second homes elsewhere. But I noticed...
They'll be flying back up from Florida and
They do,
Arizona.
yes, they do. And I think just when the weather itself improves, we'll get a lot more participation as well.
No, we'll have anywhere for them to park, but I didn't say that.
Yeah, and hopefully with the capital outlay, as you mentioned, with the paving, that should include not only all of the COA parking to be repaved, hopefully gaining some spaces. I'm hoping we can find a way that could be improved, but also going down the access road, expanding that, also repaving down by the beach area too. So the goal and hope is that we'll have more accessibility and in much better condition as well.
Okay, super. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice.
Okay. And we got 2 meetings, minutes worth of 2 meeting minutes for approval. The first one is from the meeting of the 21st on 2024, and we all have a copy of it. Thank you, Mary. And I think it's okay. I didn't say anything. Do I have any motion or comments?
I think it looks good.
I think I made all the right.
You made all the corrections that I didn't see before.
Can I hear a motion?
I move that we, oh, okay.
No, you have to say what the motion is. Mike, you gotta say what the motion is.
Motion to accept the minutes. Is that enough? Oh, you need the date.
Uh-huh,
The date is, which one is that?
November 21st.
November.
November, I'm sorry. Move to accept the minutes from November 21st, 2024.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Kathy seconds.
Kathy seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and now for the meeting of January 23rd, 2025, of which you also have a copy. It says draft on it because it's a draft until we get it approved.
Right. In case you wanted to change anything.
just giving everybody a chance to go over the minutes. Not just letting the people know what at home wondering, why are they just sitting there? Gee, I do notice that there seems to be a repetitious phrase being used.
Well,
Alan reported that there have been no updates on the feasibility study.
well,
Who would have thought?
Well, it is what it is.
Okay, do I hear any motions?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of January 23rd, 2025.
A second.
Okay, motion made and seconded.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes from January 23rd, 2025, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. That is unanimous. And for the first time, probably since I've been on the board, we are fully updated on approving all minutes, all meeting minutes. I can resign now.
Don't even say that.
All right. Next subject, new business or topics not anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Just for a little explanation of why I put that in there, because we have to have the agendas posted 48 hours in advance. I meet with Connie the Wednesday usually the Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, of the week before the meeting to go over the agenda so it's posted. Sometimes as early as Friday, no later than Monday. And to cover, sometimes things will come up at the very last minute that I didn't anticipate, so that would fall outside of the 48-hour advance notice to satisfy the public meeting laws. So that's why this is in here. I got nothing, because nothing new has cropped up in the last 48 hours, so we can bypass that. Board member comments. We're gonna, since Mike was late, you get to start.
Louise has had months of problems, is that a good way to put it? And next month, she's gonna have one of her knees replaced, and then 6 weeks with another one. We made 3 or 4 trips to the emergency ward, 8 and 10 hours in the emergency ward over here. And,
Because it's so crowded?
I'm sorry,
Because it's so crowded?
yeah. There are so many people in there, and she came in there and she had heart problems, and it took them 8 hours. 8 hours to take care of her. I mean, it was horrible.
Well, we're sorry to hear about her problems, and please tell her we'll send her our best and prayers.
Well, her medicines are pretty well evened out. Now, today she went and saw 2 doctors, and I forgot what the date is, but it's March. She's going to have one knee, and I think I'm not sure if they said 6 or 8 weeks later she'll have the other one done. I mean, she can, you've seen her with the cane. She's just like so fragile walking, so.
Well, she like I say, give her our best, and
Yeah.
don't tell her not to worry. Well, when she's able, the chair is still
I
waiting
know
for
we
her.
missed one of the meetings because that's where we were with the hospital. I know we might have missed both of them because of that. They got to do something about the emergency ward though. I mean, if you go in there and you're having heart problems and it takes 8 hours.
I was in for
But that's beyond the scope of this
I
board.
got there at 10.
Oh, no, I know that. I didn't mean that.
10 a.m.
This is important.
Mary,
12 hours.
Not really. No, not really.
Nothing?
No comments other than, Helen, I hope you come back soon.
We're sharing the secretary. Oh, I don't have anything I want to say either. Good
Nothing?
meeting, good meeting.
Covered it all.
and I have nothing further to add,
Okay.
because my mother always told me, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And so, excuse me. Don't know what to say. With that being the case, our next meeting will be March, I believe it's the 27th again, because this is a 4-week month,
Yeah.
so. And And again, here in meeting room 1, unless we get kicked out to 4 because of unexpected meetings, and again at 5 p.m. With that being said, I will entertain a motion to skedaddle.
I move that we adjourn.
I second the,
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the meeting of the Carver COA Board of Directors. Any discussion? Hearing nothing. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you all for watching.